What's good? What's good in the hood, man? What's good in the hood? What's good? I'm gonna keep that light behind me, man. Word up. I'm gonna keep that light. That's all Farrakhan want is a legacy. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is this here, is that you gotta know and understand, is that you gotta know and understand, is that people, you know what I'm saying? People that people that that teaches you this falsehood, right? They profit off of teaching you falsehood. If Nation of Islam, I'm gonna say your names because y'all don't scare me, man. I mean, come on, I don't fear no man. If Nation of Islam, right, was about the people, Farrakhan been ruling for how many years? Castro ruled the whole country, Cuba, for 70 something years. He ruled a country, and that man did what he had to do. All that stuff. Farrakhan been running the Nation of Islam for over 50 years. How did that help the black community? Only thing now you got with the Nation of Islam, say something wrong, they say, yo, man, I'll take you out for my minister. I'll kill you, my man. So really they nicely threaten you to watch your tone about their minister around them, right? You heard me? That's what they do. They be threatful. Oh, man, look at the churches. Stand up and say, brother, this ain't right. They tell you to get out of the church. Who gave you the right to kick somebody out of God's house? You heard me? Preachers don't even want to dialogue because of what? Because they are what? They're not fit to lead. That's what they are. They're all fake, all of them. Only thing they are, they're motivational speakers, and they using mind manipulation. They self-hypnosing people, putting people up under trances, man. That's all. And people don't really give a damn. Now I'm gonna put y'all down on something, man, brother. I mean, his name is D Holloway. You know what I'm saying? I ain't get his permission to put his stuff up, but his YouTube is free information. I'm gonna put some of his stuff up, but before I do that, I want to put up Wake Up Indonesians. This brother, he's gonna give y'all some information, okay, on how to register. Check this shit out. As Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? In Geneva. Check this shit out. Hold up. Wait, matter of fact, hold on. Matter of fact, just hold up real quick. I'll be right back. Look at the light. Here I go. What's up, man? Yo, I'm about to do this thing. Let me see how I put this thing on right. Hold up. Seeing something, but see, because this thing is deep as hell, man. And there's a lot of people just ignoring it or blowing it to the side like it really ain't nothing. But it is something. It's something very profound. and it's something we don't need to be playing with. But check this brother out right here. This is the video. Enjoy. I hope y'all can hear it. Check it out.
Peace and blessings to the collective out there.
Hold on, let me turn it up.
I just wanted to touch bases with most of the people that are out there, you know, that are speaking about the Indigenous American Indian information that they are just now, I guess, learning about. What I'm really trying to say is, you know what I mean? You know, the debating and, you know, doing this just to get ratings, and, you know, this is our culture that we're talking about. This has nothing to do with religion. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with religion. But what I wanted to touch bases with you guys.
Nothing to do with religion. People don't understand. That's what's keeping us brainwashed, is religion. Take it from me, man. I've been up in the man, trying to be a pastor up in the church for over 20 years, man. Try to get up in there. They always stop me because they always told me when they first met me, well, God got a message in you. But as they see how I rock, I was so truthful, and they see that I really believed in it, then they fell back off me. You know what I'm saying? Try to put me in the pulpit and try to get the money out of me. One pastor even came at me, tried to come at me with a scheme. But I was like, nah, bro, I can't do that. These people really need freaking help, bro. You know what I'm saying? They really need fucking help. But check this brother out.
So is that back in 2007, I got registered as one of the original Indigenous American Anasazi Indians back in 2007 within the charter of the United Nations under the High Commissioner for Human Rights. And I have the proof right here where this is my registration. And if you look at the fingerprint right here, this fingerprint was done by my blood. I had to take a 3-day class, you know, to get registered as Indigenous American Indian. And at the end, we had to get a blood test done. The oldest blood on the planet, which is ancient blood, by the way, the oldest blood on the planet is O positive blood or O blood, whether it's O negative or positive. It is the oldest blood on the planet. That is indigenous blood. I don't care what continent that you're on. It's indigenous blood. We just so happen to be indigenous to America. So with that being said, the blood don't lie, okay? And if you're looking at this right now, don't I look like you? I look exactly like you. And I'm registered as the original Indigenous American Anasazi Indian. And the reason why we had to get registered as soon as possible, because back when Bush was in office, he went over to the UN and tried to claim sovereignty over the continent of America, stating that we were unable or unfit to take care of ourselves. And he wanted to claim sovereignty, and he brought over some $5 Indians that took one of our old tribal clan names and tried to claim sovereignty over this land.
We got to go to the UN.
And I don't even think y'all even know
that's
that.
in New York.
So for all...
to do what he say, the procedure, go to the UN, walk up in the UN and ask for the file for that application, that 3-day class in which you talking about. Go to the UN and go to the human rights thing. Yeah, he says it at the beginning. Check it out.
You so-called African Americans, whatever you claim you want to call yourselves, then this information ain't for you. So you can bypass this video or just take your ass somewhere else. Okay? This is for all the collective of peoples that know exactly what I'm talking about. This picture is bigger than just debating about who's right and who's wrong, because they're about to snatch a lot of us off of this continent based on calling yourselves an immigrant.
Now you hear that? He said they're about to snatch up a lot of us off this continent based on calling ourselves immigrants. See, know what the hell's going on. We've been brainwashed. We ain't playing with rock. We ain't landing on playing with rock. Playing rock, landing on us. Malcolm let you know we ain't going nowhere else. The damn rock came on us. We sitting here thinking that we come from Africa. We migrated probably like 70,000 years ago, but we did migrate from Africa, but we made our own civilization. Separate from Africa, and Africa recognizes our shit. And we recognize Africa's. But the thing I'm saying is, why is we keep teaching people to follow a religion that was made in the Middle East for Arabs, man? Arabs was barbaric. They need religions of settling, being passive, respect women. We already had that in our way of life. Them books was written for them white people, them Arabs, man. Check it out.
When you call yourselves African American, you're technically calling yourself an immigrant. That's just like being a Chinese.
You heard me? African American is calling yourself an immigrant. Do you hear any white person saying, I'm Italian American? No, they say they would just call themselves American. I'm blue-blooded American. That's what them crackers would tell you. Come on.
American, a European American, an African American, a Mexican American, a Brazilian American, an Italian American. They are considered as immigrants. And if you don't believe me, check it out. I don't have to sit here. I'm not here to debate with you or go through a whole lot of changes. I'm telling you right here that I'm registered over in the UN within Geneva, Switzerland. So what does that tell you? And not only that, when they went over there, when Bush and his people went over there to claim sovereignty to this land, somebody got a whiff of it over in the UN and called one of the chiefs here, I'm not saying no names, but called one of the chiefs, and she is a female, by the way, called one of the chiefs and told them what Bush and the United States Corporation was planning to do. And that we, as the original indigenous American Indians, needed to get our quotas up over there and on file. I'm on file now. I'm on file. Definitely. If I go to court, oh, the judge got to go in his chambers. The judge got to go in his chambers and make a phone call to the UN. And if my number that's on here matches the number that they have on file over in the UN, they got to let me go. And that's called your private side. And then you have what is called your public side. But I have to get into that a little bit later. But the UN told Bush and these $5 Indians that they needed to go back out the same way that they came, because they know who the original Indians of America are. They know who the true indigenous American Indians are. They told them that. They had to leave. Go out the same way that you came in. Okay? Now, y'all can sit here and y'all can deny it. You can go into this thing. You can talk about me. I don't care, man. I'm already doing what I need to do. And all this conscious stuff that y'all talking about, let me tell you something. A lot of y'all niggas ain't conscious at all. Just because you say you're conscious, that don't mean that you're conscious. Okay? This whole conscious society and all of this other bull crap that y'all kicking. Hey, listen, It's a war out here, and it's serious. And y'all niggas is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used the term nigga. Look it up. It means Indian. So if you calling me a nigga, okay, cool. Then I'll be the super nigga. But y'all playing and time has ran out. Now I'm gonna give you a little brief thing to think about for a minute. You're sitting back calling yourselves, okay, you ever heard of the landlord and tenant code?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I am the landlord, then I have a right to be here.
Yep.
If I am a tenant, I'm only privileged to be here.
Yep. And that's what United
The
States
treaties and
is.
agreements that was written up by my ancient ancestors.
Come on. They was tenants.
If I am the landlord,
yes,
then I have rights.
You heard
If
me?
I'm a tenant.
Now see what he's saying? He's saying that we made treaties that we was gonna lease out land in them. So they really rented the land. But what these motherfuckers did was sign the treaties but didn't upheld them. They just say they see that we was people of our word and we helped them too. We ain't just left them alone. We helped them. We helped them to build their shit. We fed them. We helped them through the winters. We helped them build. We ain't just, you know what I'm saying? And what they did was stabbed us in the fucking back. Not just one time, but multiple times. And then they was telling us, yo, we can't let their children, their offsprings, or their descendants know about their being the landlord and we being the tenants. They got us thinking that the white people is the landlords and we tenants. No, bro. They hiding people. They try to say we the minority. No, they hiding people, man. They putting us involved with the African people. We probably the majority over here, but we looking stupid because we believe in the white man sensory shit. Understand this, man.
Then I just have privileges. And we all know that privileges can be taken away. Not rights. Not your human right to exist on your own God-given land.
Human rights. See, Malcolm had the right idea, but he was misled because of his religious perceptions. Okay? Malcolm had the right idea, human rights, but he ran to Africa instead of the Native American tribes. But see, Malcolm's father was a Garveyite, so he probably was from Africa, and then Malcolm's mom was half white and Native American, I believe. Okay? So the whole thing, what I'm saying is this. Malcolm had the concept to go back to Africa. Marcus Garvey was from the Caribbean, so he probably was an African mixed with Native American as well, with the West Indians. But he wanted to go back to Africa. That doesn't mean they represented the whole Turtle Island, good brother. You feel what I'm saying? They had 14 Indian tribes, just name a few, in South Carolina alone. And they went to war. Look up the Yamasee War. If I'm saying that right, Yamasee War. Look that up. They went to war because the white man kept doing slave raids and coming in messing with their crop, bro. That's why they went to war. Understand this, man. People don't want to hear this truth. People just want to stay in falsehood and have blind faith like a fucking fool. Come on.
Forget all the fake shit that they taught us in school. Y'all better wake up because time is running out. And yes, Dane Calloway, he's right. Left Vortex, he's right. And everybody else that's teaching about who we originally are, they're right. You know how they right? Because I'm registered over in the UN. Okay? So stop all this bullshit and get your shits together. Because we at war right now on our own God-given land, and y'all don't even see it. Peace and blessings to the collective. Peace.
Now, that brother just told you what it was about, right?
Log on to Patreon.
He told you what it was about, right? So the thing, what I'm saying is this. If we can walk into the UN, take a class and give our blood test, and get our blood test fingerprinted, they fingerprint your blood test now, and we become registered as aboriginals of this land. If we get up to 300 to 200,000 of our people registered as this, we can take them to federal court because them Indian tribes did that before. I can tell you, Catawba, that Catawba tribe did it. When they unregistered them because they got unorganized, but when they got their tribes back organized, you know, when the United States occupied that land, they had to pay them because they took them to federal court and they paid them over $50 million, man. They gave them an economy to work with. So what are we doing? Check this out, man. Listen to my boy.
In today's society of America, all of the millions of so-called African Americans are struggling to come to grips with their true identities and cultures due to the eugenic formatted derogative misinformation that was intentionally presented to their ancestors, commencing during the mid-1800s and streamlining its...
That brother said misinformation he said that was legitimately, like, knowingly given to people to fool them. They gave them information knowing that this information was false. Purposely, knowing that the information was false, they gave it to our people. Check it.
Way throughout all of their generations soon after. Throughout all of my articles and videos, I share informative intel as to how and why this was done, plus our factual historical accounts pertaining to our real history. Now, in this particular segment, I'll be uncovering the details of data and sources that our indigenous people must be made cognizant of, just like every other content that I present. But this time it is concerning some current events deriving from some iniquitous imposters. First, what is a nationality? According to Webster's 1828 dictionary, it is a noun describing a national character with having the quality of being national, or rather strongly attached to one's own nation. Also, according to the second edition of the Black Laws Dictionary, nationality is the, quote, quality or character which arises from the fact of a person's belonging to a nation or state. And it goes on to state that it, quote, determines the political status of the individual, especially with reference to allegiance, while domicile determines his civil status. Nationality arises either by birth or naturalization. What is very important to note is that the term naturalization is a process in which any foreign-born person can become a citizen of a country legally. So,
naturalization means anybody from a foreign country, okay? Which any foreign-born person can become a citizen of a country legally through nationalization. All right, now go ahead.
Oh, who can claim a nationality? Well, claiming a nationality is not against any law, because it is in fact a right that is written and presented entitled the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In the UDHR, Article 15, Section 1 and 2, it states, quote, everyone has the right to a nationality. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his nationality, nor denied the right to change his nationality. And that,
See, now, right there, that's under the universal law of human rights in the United Nations. Right there, you can sue the United States government if you can show and prove that they took our nationality illegally and made us think we're something else. Get at me, boy.
in other words, everyone has a right to change their nationality, but everyone must first claim it. Why? Because being born in a geographical location does not grant an automatic nationality. Yes, being born in some countries will grant you citizenship, but it won't ever grant you nationality, because a nationality.
See, understand this here. They said nationality, they said something with allegiance, right? By y'all niggas bought by brothers out there kneeling with the national anthems going on, you letting them know that you're not allegiance with the country. So now you're telling them in an indirect way or symbolic way that you're not a nation, your nationality is not a United States citizen, a United States American. Because you don't have no allegiance. In nationality, you got to have allegiance. Let's rock and roll.
Must only be claimed. Now, before I go any further, I want you to make note of what I'm about to state next. For all of this information is highly critical in respects to the legal status of all Americans, no matter their ethnical backgrounds, no matter their ethnical backgrounds, no matter their ethnical backgrounds, no matter their ethnical backgrounds. So let me ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? Now, I am more than sure that most of you answered yes, with an abundance of credence. But I must briefly inform you to become cognizant.
We're hiring a life auxiliary.
What is that?
I need assistance. Can only move
Like you can move your mouth.
as can you.
Of what being a U.S. citizen actually means. According to 18 U.S. Code 2340-definitions, Section 3 says that the, quote, United States means the several states of the United States, the District of Columbia, and the Commonwealths, territories, and possessions of the United States. So let me shed some light on a dark matter here concerning one of the aforementioned definitions of, quote, the District of Columbia, for example. What is its actual current status now? Well, if you take a look at their official website at dc.gov on statehood, it says, quote, DC residents seek statehood because it is the most appropriate mechanism to grant the U.S. citizens who reside in the District of Columbia the full rights privilege of American citizenship. Keep that in mind. Moving on, the United States is the only nation in the world with a representative democratic constitution that denies voting representation and the natural legislator to the citizens of the capital. Now, I stated all of that to say this. The verbiage used here is very tricky, but very important. Why? Well, it would appear that the statehood issue and lack of voting right belongs to the residents, or rather capital citizens of Washington, D.C. However, there are a few sections that will show a completely different side of the issue concerning nationality and statehood. In section 101A 21 of the Immigration Naturalization Act from the U.S., it defines the term national as a, quote, person owning permanent allegiance to a state. That literally means an oath or affirmation is required to a state in order to have permanent allegiance to a state. Therefore, the state will have a permanent population. But wait a minute. Residency is a transient status, meaning visiting, or a person that moves from place to place. So residency cannot be counted as permanent whatsoever. Did you catch that? Well,
Did you catch that? They playing the shit out of us, man. You heard me? They playing us. They got us think that's what they mean. Everything is an illusion. They got us in a matrix. People looking for a digital type of matrix, man. You stupid, bro. This is a psychological and emotional matrix, man. But more than anything, is a psychological matrix. You feel what I'm saying? They got us in a whole different frequency. They got us on a whole different frequency, man. We ain't even vibing right. That's why we're self-destructive. You feel what I'm saying? Everything they teach us is wrong. We have to go within that wrongness and find the right. We got to go in there and find the structure, the infrastructure. Because what they just giving us the function. They're not giving us the structure. You know what I'm saying? When you got the structure, so function precedes structure, but if you don't have no structure, you don't have no order. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what we're lacking. Well, how they did it, man, they took our native cultures, rituals, our ceremonies, our rites of passage on how we used to initiate our males and our females into higher planes of understanding adulthood. They took all that away from us. Why you think all of us feel so connected to this land? Why you think a lot of us don't want to go to Africa? A lot of us do. You got that little population that's in love with Africa. But I never wanted to go to Africa. I always feel connected here. When I was young, I used to be in South Carolina, man. We went so far into the woods, we got lost. It was about 4 or 5 of us. We got lost. And my brother and them was getting scared. So I started telling them, follow me. And I walked through the paths, and I had, it was just in my mind that I can recognize landmarks. And I recognized the trees, the little rocks and everything until I got us back to the house. I was little as hell, probably 6 or 7. You know what I'm saying? I used that landmark. It was in my blood. Like I was familiar with the land. You feel what I'm saying? So everybody, we really have to, let me see how I say this. We really have to research our family, not biologically, like how you say, not genetically, but paperwork. Because the Dutch did take good notes. They did take good reports. The Dutch took a lot of reports. And America got all that stuff because they loved that shit and didn't understand at that moment in time that shit was legal. So everybody in the world was doing it. Not just white people. Everybody in the fucking world was doing it. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is that we got to know and understand, because we was victims of that. That don't mean we got to stay victims. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to stay victims. We can really, now we have a focus point. Okay? Because understand, if they said that they took our culture, our language, and all that stuff away, we always can look over cross seas and see Africa. We always seen Africans in America, even when we were slaves. We seen Africans. I mean, how did they take our fucking language when we got the brothers right there that can teach us? They made sure in the 70s, I seen African people over there starving all day. I thought it was a thing to make Africa make it undesirable or something. No, it wasn't that. It was you having sympathy for the people. It was an emotional scam. They put that on there to make you be emotionally connected to them. So that makes you want to go over there and help them. Understand what the hell's going on. I was born in the 70s, man. My whole schooling is different from what is going on now. But God bless me to remember every fucking thing that y'all put out back then. I know a lot of people did drugs, hardcore drugs. They can't even remember what they did in school back in the 70s and 80s. I can. And this shit here is way different. Everything is different. It's like they made a whole different new society in the same fucking society. It's like they remaking. It's like they recycle. You know what I'm saying? What is logic? What is facts? What is truth? They recycle shit so much that it's hard to distinguish. The reason why they did that because they don't want the landlords to know that the tenants done took over the house. Check them out.
Maybe this will help you understand where I'm coming from. In the 7701-definitions, under Title 26, Subtitle F, Chapter 79, Section 39 says, quote, persons residing outside the United States. If any citizen or resident of the United States does not reside in and is not found in any United States judicial district, such citizen or resident shall be treated as residing in the District of Columbia for purposes of any provision of this title relating to A, jurisdiction of courts, or B, enforcement of summons. For the purposes of the federal judicial system, Congress has divided the United States into judicial districts. There are 94 federal judicial districts, including at least one district in each state, the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico. What's important to know, to be found in a judicial district would mean that an oath or affirmation to a state was in existence in one of the judicial districts of the United States. So now what does all of this mean? Well, it means that all U.S. citizens are literally citizens of the District of Columbia. Listen closely, because that also means that U.S. citizens are stateless. Why? Because the District of Columbia is not a state.
Did you hear what that man just said? Did you hear what this man just said? By law, what he just read on paper, that we are all citizens of the District of Columbia. And that makes us stateless. So that's why when we go to different states, travel to different states, we call residents. We are residents because we ain't staying. We can move around. But if you got statehood, you heard me, and a citizen of that state, you're permanent. You're permanent. You're permanent. I mean, like you're permanent. You can state it like you're permanent. Now, this is crazy. Those are two different type of class of people. Okay? Those are two different type of class of people. And two different type of class of citizenship. What the is going on in this cesspool of confusion? They take our land, which was Turtle Island, and they turn it into an industrial consumer monster, and they feed us propaganda that keeps our psychological state in confusion and self-destruct mode. They emotionally fucks us up by putting us in an environment that is controlled, but it's caged in, but it's controlled. They put us in a controlled environment. They have us being influenced by television and television they got us being programmed. So they programming our subconscious as they emotionally fucking with us, as they emotionally put us in an environment that's fucked up. And then they're teaching us psychologically, consciously, wrong knowledge. Let me run through that again. They're attacking us subconsciously, and they're attacking us consciously, and they're attacking us emotionally at the same fucking time. Just because they want us to not know that we're the landlords and they're the tenants. That's serious as fuck, man. That's some real shit. And see, in Australia, the Aboriginal people know that they the landlords, but the people, they don't knock their fucking people off, bro. Look at Tanzania. They annihilated them because they was undesirable. They had the little heads with the buck teeth. They knocked them off. They killed them because they was undesirable. They didn't want to mate with them. So they killed them off with diseases, gave them smallpox blankets, and that destroyed the whole village. Killed all the Tasmanians. Kill them all off. They didn't even want to breed with them. Do you understand the only reason why certain cultures is alive because the white person seen them as desirable? Or it was too many of them to kill? Like over here? It was too many of us to kill. It was too many. We was populated like Africa, man. It was too many. It was a lot of us over here. I looked up some of those Native American reservations. They told me they got 300,000 of these. That's a fucking lie. They only got 7,000 of Catawbas. That's a lie. That's the motherfuckers who went up under that treaty and who's down with the government on fooling the rest of us, man. What they call them, the 5 civilized tribes, the 5 sellout tribes. That's what the fuck they were. They even got in books that some of the tribes helped the other tribes or helped the white man to take over some of the tribes, man. They played on them. They brought that same shit they did to Africa, making tribes go against tribes over there, because they said, how you think they had the Zulu, the South Africa, how you think a minority of white people can take over a majority of all black people? Like they rebelled. They had the Zulu go against the Wut-Tup, and the Wut-Tup goes against these people, and they played them against each other, their culture. And as blood is shed, just like over in Chicago, when one of their homeboys died, the other homeboys want revenge. The shit, they doing the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. And this shit is crazy. People don't get it. I think people want it. I think some people are so fucking mentally deprived, derailed, that they want to see death, like the Roman blood sports. They want that Roman shit. They want to be subjected to oppression, and because after a while, like 50 Shades of Grey, you know what I'm saying? Some people get off from pain. Some people get off from being disciplined very roughly. They get some type of blissful feeling out of that bullshit. That's what our people are doing right now. This is our land. Fuck Africa right now. This is our land. Turtle Island is ours. We need to get our fucking land back. We need to start dressing like our ancestors, put them feathers in our hair. We claim. We go back and we research their culture, and we bring that and we resurrect that shit back to life, man. That's my mission. So y'all better understand, but check this brother out.
It's the reason why they have been seeking statehood. And with U.S. citizens not possessing an oath or affirmation to anything gives off strong and solid evidence of U.S. citizens being stateless persons. So, with no claims to a nationality and no state literally means that you are stateless, and it also means that you have no legal standing in any court of law whatsoever. Stateless persons are strictly under the privilege of any district or state that will grant them residency, and all other rights established does not exist except for one's human rights. There are approximately a little over 320 million U.S. citizens in the District of Columbia right now that are farmed out as residents of the states of the original.
See, you fall victim to the state that grants you residency. That's why in South Carolina, they locking black people the fuck up, because they're not statehood. They're residents. And they got to fall up under the laws on which the government grants. If the state want to fuck with them, the state has the right to do it because they grant you permission to live there. Come on, man.
Confederacy called the United States of America. The United States of 1789 was a trust owned by the Vatican. Notice that the Pentagon is outside of the district. Has anyone ever heard of a temporary employment agency that requires a fee to hire the agency to find you employment? Now, let's continue on with this topic. The current affirmed American nationals already has their own government currently in place for people that want to claim their true nationality and get out of the stateless status. It is called the government of the United States of America, not to be confused with the United States Incorporated. The American national status is recognized and does have enforcement with respect to protecting even the indigenous aboriginals of Turtle Island with claiming their true nationalities, elimination of being a taxpayer, and removal of being required to possess a driver's license, etc. So be sure to keep in mind that you must fully claim your nationality the correct way, because every state are operating by private membership associations only. So you can still be considered and listed as a U.S. citizen if you have not completed the process accordingly and accurately. For example, the Moorish Science Temple of America is an industrialized corporation which was incorporated as a civic organization or fraternity society for nonprofit use, but later changed to a 501c3 religious organization to be tax exempt as a business overall, but not for any of its followers or untitled ranking members. What is very important to know is that the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated is an independent organization under the laws of the federal government agency called the IRS, not the Moorish laws like they promote, meaning that they are not affiliated with any national organizations, groups, or people such as indigenous aborigines, for example. In other words, they are not capable of even assisting you with properly claiming your true nationality as they claim, because they don't even have a true nationality for themselves in the first place, being as though they are publicly verified as an independent contractor for the federal government, doing business as an industrialized religious corporation. I highly suggest that you read and totally understand everything before.
Bucks come.
Wow.
Raising Cane's were all about quality. We mix cane sauce
He
for our
done
restaurants
destroyed
every
the
day.
Moors just
And our
that
chicken
quick.
Before you sign up with any organization claiming that they can assist with a nationality card, travel card, etc., like Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated affiliated organization called the RV Bay Publications, for example, because those same people could be removing you from one negative thing, but placing you deeper into negativity, purposely or inadvertently. Be advised, those types of people will state a bunch of gibberish to make it seem as if they know the law, but then turn around and state things like this on their website. And I quote, "The subject of our organization is to help in the great program of uplifting fallen humanity and teach those things to make our members better citizens." Now, if that's not alarming enough, then this quote should be. Quoting directly from the RV Bay publication site verbatim, it says, quote, "The preachers, reverends, pastors first get set up as a church after receiving permission through a license or a 501c3, which provides they do not have to pay taxes. The 501c series or whatever assigned letter or number they have altered it today is their thank you for reporting and registering their congregation and the congregation's family under the corporate jurisdiction. For that service, not only does the church not have to pay taxes, they also cannot speak of civics, human rights, law of the land, etc., because it is a permission from a corporation. Yet, during election time, they are asked to encourage the people of their congregation to vote for whoever they are instructed to push to win with the poll votes of the congregation. End quote. Now, are they inadvertently telling on themselves? Or maybe they're doing this purposely to pose as an organization for its people? Or really maybe it's all done just for profit?
See, right there, man. Right there, showing and proving. He just read the whole 501c3. That's for everybody up under that. Every church is up under that. I think every masjid is up under that. Probably the synagogue is probably not up under that. But I'm telling you, every religious organization is up under 501c3. Understand that. And he just broke down what a 501c3 is. And within the 501c3, they have rules and regulations. You can't talk about certain things. So how you going to be somebody that's going to fight for the people that's doing wrong if you can't even speak a civil thing? The only thing they using you, and then you're a federal contract, and then you're an independent contractor working with the feds. That's what the 503. You an independent contractor, bro. I know about that because I do that type work. You an independent contractor working for the feds. And if you are doing good, the feds will grant your church money. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. And we just sitting here just doing it like it ain't nothing, man. We just sitting here just taking it. Like, fuck it, I got my family to take care. I got to pay my bills. How that's going to help me with my bills? You sound dumb. If you research and if you turn out to be from a tribe and they've been on your land for all these years, you go to the UN and you go up under that Universal Human Rights Act and you bring a civil suit against the United States for doing that, bro, then you can really feed your family and your descendants, not just now. But yo, this is part one. The truth is final, man. The truth hurts, but the truth is final. Holla at me, man. Y'all can hit me up. Listen to my music, Mush Rock, on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Check out my channel, Al Atterbury. That's ATTER. You know what I'm saying? BURY. You know, check me out, man. This is just one video, man. I'm gonna start building with these brothers because these brothers is dropping real true knowledge. I've been a part of that mental slavery, that matrix, man. I'm out of the matrix now, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody got to understand this here, man, because people speak truth. That don't make us evil, man. For real. That's all I got to say, man. Word up.